live event. Okay. All right. And it says you're live. So we're actually streaming live right now. Okay, so I can still keep a delay until we got to do. So I might as well do a little bit of a pregame show, I suppose. Okay. All right. So that's okay. I'll let it sit here. Which one should I be looking? I got to go back out to the Wirecast to get commercials. I could start playing commercials, I suppose. Right. Okay. Okay. So I'll let it sit. How do I turn the volume off though? While I let it sit. Yep. 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 Turned on.
having finished. And the anthem of the United States of America.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bill Pomfret Stadium at Palmer Field in this Zone 3 matchup of American Legion Baseball here on SportingNewsCT.com between the East Haddam Zone and Middletown. And I'm Steve Riley, and to my left is Mike Kenichi. Mike, first time on the broadcast. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Steve. I appreciate you having me on tonight. I'm really looking forward to it.
And it should be a great game. The 12-4 Middletown team is third in their zone. They're 2 games behind 14-2 Cheshire and 13-2 Meriden in the battle for Zone 3. And tonight's game will be Middletown, obviously the home team. It's a doubleheader. We'll only be broadcasting the first of these 2 games. And out on the mound now is Middletown's pitcher, but we'll go over the East Haddam lineup. Mike?
Okay, Steve, batting first for East Haddam is number 10, John Linares. He will play left field. Batting second at shortstop is number 2, Luke Johnson. Batting third in right field is number 34, John Cowley. Batting fourth and playing second base is number 12, Connor Egan. Batting fifth and catching will be C.J. Westbrook. Batting sixth and playing third base is number 21, Matt Parker. Batting seventh is the pitcher, David D'Antonio, number 9. Batting eighth and playing first base is Brandon LaChance. And batting ninth in center field, Billy Anderson, number 3, I believe.
Okay, and out on the mound for Middletown, Sean Lenahan, the right-hander, is just as the ball goes from the catcher to the second baseman. Rounding out the defense for Middletown, Ryan Famlighetti is going to be playing the catching position. He'll be catching the balls and strikes. Connor Carty at second base. Over there at first base is Tyler Pop, the product from Haddam Killingworth High School. And at shortstop is Luke Garofalo. Luke Garofalo. Over at third base is going to be Ben Alonzo, as we'll get to the rest of that as we have the first pitch of the game. The leadoff hitter from East Haddam, John Linares, first pitch. In there for strike 1 called, and starting it off right away with a strike is Sean Lenahan. In left field out there is Cal Pietrozzello. In center field, Tim Dixon. And in right field, Billy Egan. And the second pitch is outside for a ball.
Beautiful game, beautiful night for a game, Steve. The weather held up. It looked like we might get some thunderstorms, but so far the weather has held out.
I know. We saw a few lightning bolts here and there. There's a hard ground ball to third base, scooped and brought to his chest by the third baseman, Alonso, and he throws it away, and the runner gets down to second base. So just like that, East Haddam's John Linares, with an error charged to the third baseman, gets down to second base. So right off the bat, East Haddam with a runner in scoring position.
Number 2, Luke Johnson.
And that brings up Luke Johnson, the shortstop, batting from the left side. And he wiggles that wooden bat around, and, all wood in the state of Connecticut. Can't even use composite wood. That first pitch is in there for a strike.
You got to figure he might attempt to run here, Steve. Leadoff batter. You want to get that guy to third.
Yeah, left-handed batter. He wants to pull that ball.
Yeah.
And there goes the bunt, and it's taken by the catcher down to third, off to tag him, and they say safe.
Ooh.
Wow, and the third baseman over there, Ben Alonzo, can't understand that one.
Very good play by the catcher. Who is that? That's
Famlighetti.
Famlighetti. Nice throw. Looked like he had him out, Steve, from where I was watching.
Yeah, it looked like the ball beat him there, but we don't have they're a lot closer than we are, and they call him safe. So now there's some argument over there by a head coach for Middletown, Tim DeQuilla, but to no avail. There's runners at the corners. Score that one a fielder's choice, which results in the runner going to third base. So with runners on first and second, another left-handed batter comes up from East Haddam. This will be John Cully, the right fielder. And see what they do. Coming set now is Lenahan, and he kicks and deals. There's a hard line drive in the right center. That one's going to go out to the wall. It's rolling. 1 run will score. Rounding third and being waved home is Luke Johnson. Here comes the throw. It's cut off by the second baseman. So a 2 RBI double for John Cully, and just like that, East Haddam is ahead by the score of 2-0.
Beautiful swing by Cowley, Steve. He really crushed that ball, and he went after the first pitch, and right now East Haddam is in business.
And that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Connor Egan, the second baseman. And Lenahan, just like that, he gives up 2 runs. And there's a hard smash, but that one could be playable. Nope, it's over the head of the left fielder. That one's going to roll to the wall. Here comes Cully. He'll have a stand-up run, and it's going into second base. A stand-up double to left center for Connor Egan.
Steve, one thing I noticed right away with East Haddam is they're swinging at the first pitch. If it's there, they're not taking it. They're going right after him, and that's what you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Middletown in their white uniforms with blue stripes on the shoulders. Looks like they have something on the shoulder there, a little bit down the side. White pants. East Haddam with their gray shirts with blue. There's a bunt. It's pushed up the first baseline. Fielding it is Pop. He'll tag the runner, and there's going to be a sacrifice bunt.
Beautiful bump by Westbrook, Steve. That was the right thing to do. No outs. You want to get that runner to third. Very unselfish play. Great job by Westbrook.
Yeah, they still want. I tell you, they really want to get. They want to get that 4th run in, and jump out on top here. There's a East Haddam team coming out smoking here, and Lenahan from the stretch now will pitch to the 6 batter, Matt Parker, the third baseman. The first pitch to Parker is in there for a strike. Well, the American flag in left center field is waving a bit, so there is a little bit of wind. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for ball 1.
One count right now.
Yep, 1-1 to Matt Parker. Big ballpark here at Palmer Stadium. 321 left field line, 380 rather in the gaps, 400 feet straight center. I think it's 322. The pole's in my way, but it's about 322s. There's a strike call, so it's 1-2 now to Matt Parker.
Steve, this is one of the better ballparks, I think, in high school baseball. Beautiful ballpark and definitely a hitter's park.
Yeah, well, it's a big, big ballpark, but it's you're absolutely right. It's a great ballpark to play in. There's a ground ball up the middle. The runner holds at third base, and the shortstop, Garofalo, makes the play 6-3.
Batting 7th, pitcher number 9, David D'Antonio.
Brings up the pitcher, David D'Antonio. D'Antonio swings from the right-handed batter's box. And here's the pitch. It's up high for ball 1. But you're so right, Mike. They just came out swinging the bats. That first pitch fastball, they were tearing after it.
Yeah, they're definitely not afraid. They're coming out aggressive, which is very good.
And there's a strike, so it's now 1-1. Yep, the 4-12 East Haddam team is the 7th in Zone 3. Middletown 3rd in Zone 3, only 2 games back of the league leader, or zone leader rather, in Cheshire, and there's 2 balls. There's the second ball. East Haddam, as I said, with blue numbers, blue sleeves, gray pants, dark gray shirts. And there's strike 2 called. Good fastball.
You know, Steve, if he could get out of it with just 3 runs, that's a great job by the pitcher, because it looked like it was, going to be a rough
even worse
for him, and he's really battled.
There's a swing and a miss, and he does, and that's the first strikeout of the game for Lenahan. But the damage is done as East Haddam comes up with 3 runs on a total of 2 hits, and there was an error, and they leave 1 man on base. That'll do it. The bottom of the first coming up. East Haddam with a 3-0 lead over Middletown.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
back here at Palmer Stadium in Middletown, Connecticut. East Haddam has struck early here with 3 runs in the top of the first. Big 2 doubles in a row by John Cully and Connor Egan. Well, for Middletown, they'll try to get right back into it. In the batting order for Middletown, Mike.
Okay, Steve, batting first and playing left field for Middletown is Cal Petrozello. Batting second and playing shortstop is Luke Garofalo. Batting third and playing first base is Tyler Popp. Batting fourth, the center fielder, Tim Dixon. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Ben Alonzo. Batting sixth at second base is Connor Carty. Batting seventh and playing DH is Cole Needman. Batting eighth is the catcher, Ryan Familetti. And batting ninth and playing right field is Billy Egan.
All right, and on the mound now for East Haddam is David D'Antonio. And behind the dish, as they call it, catching the balls and strikes this evening, will be C.J. Westbrook. Down there at first base is Brandon LaChance. Down there at second base is Connor Egan. At shortstop, Luke Johnson, Matt Parker. Down there at third base, out there in left field, is John Linares, and to cover a lot of ground out there in center, Billy Anderson, John Cully out there in right field. So Middletown here in the bottom of the first inning will try to get right back in it. They're 12-4, as he said, so got to consider East Haddam the underdog tonight.
Steve, again, great job by Lenahan getting out of that. You know, it looked like they were going to get him early, and he got out of there with just 3 runs. Let's see if he settles down the rest of the game, but great job getting out of that.
And hopefully he will. And now getting up to the batter's box, as we said, is Cal Petrozello, the left fielder. Cal will come up to the bat in the right-hander's batter's box, swinging that wooden bat. And working from the first base side of the rubber is D'Antonio, and he winds, kicks, and deals in there for strike 1. Well, on the flip side, Mike, D'Antonio trying to put up a 0 right after his offense gives him that 3-run lead.
Yeah, very important. When you get a lead like that, you don't want to give it back, and we'll see how he does this inning.
The 0-1, there's a line drive over the head of the shortstop, and he almost gets a great effort by the shortstop, but it'll be in there for a leadoff single. Might have broken the bat. Not sure about that one. But
yeah, very good try. Just missed catching it, and good job by Middletown right off the bat to get a base runner, you know, just come right back at him.
Right. Well, they're not 12-4 for nothing, I guess. Luke Garofalo, the shortstop, steps in, is straddling off first base is Petrozello. Got about a three-step lead right now. The right-hander, D'Antonio, lobs it over to first, and getting back very easily is Petrozello. Well, we'll see right now whether the strategy of Middletown is to stay aggressive, or will they say, I'm behind by 3 runs and I can't steal. Nope, there goes the runner, first pitch. Here goes a long-arm throw to second. They won't get him. The speedy Petrozello steals second.
Great jump by Petrozello, Steve. They had no chance at him, whether the throw made it there or not. He had that stolen right away.
He stole it right off the pitcher. So Petrozello now straddling off second is Garofalo now in there with the 1-0 count. Coming set now, glove right around chin level is D'Antonio. He now kicks high. The runner takes off for third. There's a high ball into the up high. The throw to third and not in time.
Very good throw, Steve. Also, great jump again by Petrozello, but a very good throw. He almost had him.
Yeah, that pitch was up high behind the head of the batter, so it's 2-0 now. Middle infielders will play back. First baseman about 2 steps back. They'll probably give up the run here if there's a ground ball for the out. And there's a strike, so it's 2-1 now to Luke Garofalo.
You know, Steve, when you have a threat like that in Petrozello, basically you turn a single into a triple when you have somebody like that.
I know. Outfielder playing basically straight away. And there's a high fly ball to center field. It's going back. It's going to go over the head of the center fielder. Jogging home is Petrozello. Garofalo around second. He's going to go for third. Here's the throw into the shortstop. Cuts it off, and they're going to send him home. Here comes the long throw to home. It won't be in time. Just like that, Luke Garofalo with an inside-the-park home run.
Steve, beautiful job by Garofalo. I mean, he kept running all the way, didn't watch the ball. He just kept going, and an inside-the-park home run. That ball, you know, in most ballparks would have been out. This is a deep park. It's 400 feet, and he really tattooed it.
Yeah, but I tell you, I saw that coach over there at third base down by 3-1, and he wasn't even hesitating. He was wheeling that right arm to send that runner in, and just like that, it's 3-2. And Tyler Pop now, the big first baseman. He was a catcher this year from Haddam Killingworth. Very good player. Good bat. And here's the pitch. It's down in the dirt for a ball. Tyler was intentionally walked quite a bit in his high school career, his senior season especially. Haddam Killingworth lost in the semifinals, I think, this year, Mike.
Really, yeah. They look like they got a solid team, though. They really do.
Yeah. And here's the pitch. It's in the dirt, so it's 2-0.
Steve, let me ask you. You know better than me. Do pitchers sometimes, when they have a lead like that, do they tend to ease up, you think, or do you just think they lose concentration? What do you think it is?
Well, I thought the blast will make you lose concentration, and that's something where sometimes, if a guy gets a big hit, you think you go out there with all the confidence in the world, and then sometimes a guy comes up and he smashes one 380 feet.
Yeah.
And then it ends up, so much for their confidence. So let's see how he works out of this one. It's now 3-0 to Pop. And that's going to be up high for ball 4. So you have a single, 2 stolen bases, and an inside-the-park home run, and now you have nobody out and runner on first base.
Yep.
And stepping into the batter's box, the cleanup hitter Tim Dixon, the center fielder, Pop straddling off first. Looking in is D'Antonio. He comes up his glove right on chin high. Now he throws to first, and getting back easily is Pop.
I believe Steve Middletown's going to run on Haddam.
East Haddam.
East Haddam, excuse me. They see that they could run. They're going to continue to run on him, and I think that's the game plan.
Yep. And there's a throw up high, so it's now 1-0 now to the right-hander Tim Dixon. Well, what a beautiful ballpark, as you said, Mike. Really a great night for baseball. A little cool, the threat of rain before, a couple of lightning strikes around, but they had the tarp on the mound. You could see a little bit of the water, the shadows around the edge of the mound where the tarp was. But now it's 2-0, and D'Antonio in a lot of troubles. He throws another one over to first, and getting back easily, standing up is Mr. Pop.
Yep.
Well, in this Zone 3, Cheshire, they're perennially up there at the top of the list. They're 14-2, but they're tied with Meriden. Well, they're a half game ahead of Meriden at 13-2. Ball gets away from the catcher, bounced in the dirt. They're going to score that one, a wild pitch, and that's going to put Pop to second. It's 3-0 on the batter, Tim Dixon. So D'Antonio in real trouble here.
Yeah, if you're the catcher, you may want to go out there. Just, calm him down. You don't really have to say too much, but you probably want to go out there and calm him down a little bit.
And there's a strike, that perennial automatic 3-0 count strike.
Little late call there.
Yeah. D'Antonio looks at the runner at second and Pop, and now looks back home again, kicks high and deals, and there's a high fly to left center. Should be playable as the center fielder comes running across and makes the catch. So there's one out now, and it brings up the third baseman, Ben Alonzo. Alonzo, a left-hander. You said, Mike, this stadium is one of the two, I would say one of the two best, if not the best, amateur ballparks in the state of Connecticut. You know that, Muzzy Field.
Yes, and you could definitely see the game no matter where you sit. It's a beautiful ballpark.
Yep. Here's the pitch inside to Alonzo for a ball 1. This is the problem when you throw a lot of balls and then all of a sudden it's 2-0, 3-1, and you make those hitters are looking for that fastball and loading on it. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. 1-1.
Getting that first out, Steve, I think this has relaxed him a little bit.
Yeah.
His control seems to be back now, and, the last 2 batters he was struggling a little bit, but getting that first out really helped.
And here's the pitch. It's ball, so you don't see any movement there. It's 2 balls, 1 strike now on the left-handed hitting Ben Alonzo. Curveball, that one's blooped over the head of the shortstop. It'll drop 1 bounce in front of the left fielder. So a bloop single for Alonzo, 3rd hit of the day for Middletown hitters.
Steve, it looked like he got jammed on the pitch. He kind of just swung, and sometimes, those little hits turn into something, because it looked like he was fooled and he got jammed.
Yeah, he took that curveball inside and just fisted it over the shortstop's head. Sometimes it's tough to do with wooden bats.
Yeah. It's a pitcher's worst nightmare. You put the pitch where you want it, and that's baseball. It could go anywhere.
Yeah. Now there's runners at first and third, and see if they send Alonso. They've been aggressive in the beginning of this game, and Alonso looks like he's ready to take off, and he does. And there's the throw down to second base. Shortstop doesn't cut it off. They decoys it. One bounce to second, but Alonso's in there safely, so he steals second base. Well, a little bit of difference, Mike, between high school and pro rules. You cannot fake the throw to third and then throw to first in Major League Baseball. So once the pitcher kicked, he knew he could take off freely.
Yeah.
He didn't have to worry about the fake throw. There's a high fly to left field, not too deep, but getting it standing still as a left fielder. Here comes the runner. He's going to score on the sacrifice fly. So a sac fly RBI by Cardi, and just like that, the game's tied as Tyler Pop scores.
Great job by Middletown, Steve. They came right back and answered, and they played small ball to get these 3 runs. They really did, and that was a great job by them.
And now with the runner on second base and 2 outs is Cole Needman, the designated hitter. He'll bat from the right side as well. Wiggles that white ash bat with his white gloves above his head. And there's a pitch up high for ball 1.
One thing I've noticed, though, is both teams have great speed, Steve. So
Yeah.
speed will probably play a factor throughout this game.
Yeah, and speed never slumps, as they say. And here's the pitch, and it's out. It's in there for a strike on the outside corner.
Very good pitch.
Well, we're rounding out the rest of the teams in Zone 3. You got Cheshire 14-2, as we said, Meriden 13-2, Middletown 12-4. Behind them is Guilford at 10-7. There's another high fly ball to the left fielder. He's going back. He's drifting back, and he makes the catch. So a little bit of a driftingness there made it look more difficult than perhaps it had to be, but he does make the catch. So for Middletown, in the bottom of the first inning, they come up with 3 runs to tie it on a total of 2 hits. There were no errors, and they leave 1 runner on base. We'll be right back with the top of the second inning. We're all tied here at Palmer Field with the score East Haddam 3 and Middletown 3.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
All right, back here at Bill Pomfret Stadium at Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut for this Zone 3 matchup between East Haddam and Middletown. East Haddam comes in is the big underdog with a 4-12 record. Middletown just showed why, Mike. They're 12-4 as they come back from a 3-run deficit in the first inning to put a 3 spot of their own.
Yeah, very good job by Middletown. And they were aggressive, Steve, right from the start. And, it really started with Petrozella. I mean, he stole 2 bases right off the bat. He didn't even hesitate. He just kept running. And, that set up the whole inning.
Yeah, pitchers start thinking about it. They have to worry about runners. They don't worry about the batter as much. Well, batter from the left side with a little bit of an open stance is Brandon LaChance. First pitch now from Lenahan is a fastball away.
Very interesting to see how Lenahan responds this inning. They gave him the runs back. It's a whole new game now. Let's see how he does.
And here's the 1-0. There's a swing and a miss, so it's a 1-1. Big cut by Mr. LaChance there with that brown wooden bat. There's a ground ball up the middle. Gets by Lenahan. The shortstop, Garofalo, gets it, throws it over to first for the out.
Good play, Steve, by Garofalo. Took his time, didn't panic, made a nice play.
Yeah, right over the base bag at second base.
Yeah.
You know, we had I remember last year, Mike, we had some controversy because players forgot that they cannot use a composite wood bat in the tournament or during the regular season. It can only be a totally wood bat in the sense of no composite wood.
Right.
But sometimes either they forget or they try to see if they can get away with it, I guess, but it always comes back to haunt them. There's a strike to the left-handed hitting Billy Anderson, the 9 batter for East Haddam. And that's even for composites with a BB core stamp, which you could use in high school.
Right,
But you cannot use it in American Legion in Connecticut. And there's a strike on the inside corner. East Haddam's bench didn't like it, but they don't get a vote. Here's the pitch. It's 0-2, swing and a miss.
Beautiful pitch. Beautiful pitch.
Yep, second strike out of the game for Lenahan. So he's got the first 2 batters here in the second inning. Got them out. So that brings up the top of the order. John Linares, who started it all off with a ground ball to third, it was thrown away.
You know, Steve, when you look at it, Lenahan really hasn't pitched too bad. You know, he got victimized by an error to start the game. And, you know, of course, there was the questionable sacrifice bunt to third. And he's pitched fine thus far. I mean, he's really, you know, relaxed in this inning.
The only thing he has to do is watch throwing it down the middle of those 3 and 4 guys.
Oh, yeah.
He'll have better success. Well, here's the 1-0 now to the right-handed swinging John Linares. And there's upstairs, so it's 2-0. Well, the coaches for this Middletown team, Tim DeQuilla, the head coach, assisted by Greg Lombardo. Tommy Ryan is the pitching coach. There's a ball downstairs, so it's 3-0. Buddy Altamaro of East Haddam is the general manager. Greg Johnson's the head coach. He's probably him standing down there at third base. P.J. Wales, an assistant, along with Alex Wales, another assistant. And there's the strike 1, 3-0 automatic call.
Delay call.
You know, our mentor, the wizard, Don Boyle, always says they just ought to just call it 3-0. He just says forget it. There's a fly ball, blooping line drive down the right field line. Nice running catch by the right fielder. So a soft liner out to the right fielder, Billy Egan, and that'll do it. 1-2-3 goes East Haddam here in the top of the second. We'll be back with the bottom of the second inning with the score all tied up at 3.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
SportingNewsCT.com is now streaming your team's big game. SportingNewsCT.com is Connecticut's broadcast home for high school sports, college sports, and American Legion baseball. Whether it's football, soccer, basketball, hockey, baseball, softball, or lacrosse, we stream it live. Can't watch the game live? Then check out our on-demand rebroadcast. Want a keepsake? Download an audio broadcast or order a DVD. There's more. SportingNewsCT.com features interviews with coaches, players, and administrators. The game's on. SportingNewsCT.com. SportingNewsCT.com is now streaming your...
All right, back here at Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut, where we looked there early on, it looked like we might have some thunderstorms coming through. We sort of avoided it a little bit, and we got a tie game here between East Haddam and Middletown. Middletown comes into this game scoring 111 runs and only giving up 55. East Haddam about the reverse, 52 runs gotten and 114 given up. But we're in a tie game right here in the first half of this doubleheader. Brings up Ryan Famiglietti, the catcher, will lead it off here in the top of the second inning. The bottom of the second inning for Middletown. And still on the mound for East Haddam is David D'Antonio. Brandon Chance at first, Connor Egan at second, Luke Johnson at short, Matt Parker at third, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Don't forget the outfielders, Johnny Linares out in left, Billy Anderson in center, John Cully out there in right field. You can tell with the wooden bats, they don't play that deep in the outfield as they might with aluminum. There's a pitch inside, so it's 1-1.
You know, Steve, it doesn't look like either team has a weak bat in the lineup either. It looks like, you know, all nine of these boys could really hit the ball.
Yeah. Well, see, the difference in the summer, I guess, is, you have a lot of games and a lot of time, a lot of days. There's a bloop out to the left fielder, a nice running catch by the left fielder, John Linares.
Batting ninth, right fielder.
The fans
number
appreciated
7,
that effort of
Billy
John Linares
Egan.
out there as he ran right across towards the center fielder and made the grab. Brings up Billy Egan for the first time this evening. A right fielder from Middletown steps in the right-hander's batter's box. And here's D'Antonio's pitch, and he tries to bunt it. It's up the third baseline. Looks like it's going to roll foul, and it does.
Not a bad idea, Steve. He would have had it beat had it went fair. I mean, good idea. He's got a lot of speed, and not a bad move at all.
Yeah, as they say, it's either going to let it have either it's going to be foul or it's going to be fair, and you're going to be safe. So that was going to be one or the other, and it ended up foul. Here's the 0-1 pitch from D'Antonio. It's a curveball, and that's in there for a strike.
That definitely fooled Egan, Steve. Very good pitch.
Yeah.
Fooled me, too, when I saw it.
And here's the 0-2 now as D'Antonio winds up and deals high kick. Another curveball. That one's blooped out to center field, coming on to get it and jumping now to get it. Center fielder Billy Anderson.
Tell you, Steve, it's like both teams are,
Left fielder, number
similar
1,
with each
Cal
inning.
Picazzello.
Last
Yeah, I
inning
know.
was a breeze,
Yep.
flyouts to right, and the same thing this, and, both teams are kind of matching each other inning for inning.
Well, if you want to watch some great amateur baseball, this is the place to do it here at Palmer's Field in Middletown, Connecticut. Great game going on right now between Middletown and East Haddam. As there's a strike now to the leadoff hitter, Cal Picazzello. Testacal. He got a bloop single in the first inning, but stole second and third and scored on the inside the park home run by Luke Garofalo, swinging the bat on deck. And here with 2 outs there's a big cut, but it's fouled back to the backstop.
Yeah, he took a big swing there. He definitely did. But as I mentioned before, he really got that first inning started for Middletown. I mean, again, he turned a single into a triple just by his speed.
Yep, speed and the ability to get a jump off the pitcher, D'Antonio. D'Antonio winds wearing the royal blue sleeves on his pitching arm and his other arm. But there's the ball, so it's 1-2 now. The right-handed hitting Cal Picazzello. Well, it's a beautiful ballpark also at this time of the year to watch a game. You can notice there's shade actually on some parts, never mind underneath the roof here. But you also have some down the third baseline now.
Steve, it's a good night if there's nothing to do on a Tuesday night in the summer to take your kids, who are into baseball and just watch these two teams play at this field. This field is beautiful.
And here's the pitch. And there's a ground ball. 4-hopper to the shortstop, Johnson. He gets it. Long throw to first. He makes it. So Middletown goes down 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We've now completed 2 full innings here from Palmer Field. The score, East Haddam 3, Middletown 3. We'll be right back after these important messages.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
but most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
You're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
You also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
Well, right back here at Palmer Field, we got a good one here going. Top of the third inning, East Haddam and Middletown all tied at 3.
Shortstop number 2.
Zone 3
Johnson.
battle. Well, a lot of the usual suspects, Mike, across the state are winning their zones. I was looking up the standings in various zones across the state. Orange back on top in Zone 2. And some of the teams that normally are up there are not there. Left-handed swinging, Luke Johnson just takes a big cut and fouls it off. He'll lead it off here in the top of the third for East Haddam. But, usually you see up in Zone 2, it's usually Brantford or Milford.
Right.
They're at the bottom of the zone now, which is very, very surprising. And now Orange is up there at the top. They're battling with Stratford. Stratford won it last year.
Right.
In that zone. Zone 7, guess who's ahead? RCP winning it again so far. They seem to be there every year. And there's a ball down low. They actually have T-shirts that they just add the year on.
Oh, God.
And it says Zone Champs 7. And every year they just add the year.
No sense going through a whole new shirt.
Yeah. 1-1, and there's a foul ball on the left field line. Goes towards some of the fans sitting in front of the concession stands as that ball rolls away towards the batting cage down there in left field.
Steve, that's probably the first ball that's been hit out of play. Both teams have put the ball in play, so far.
1-2, Lenahan winds up, kicks high and deals. There's a ground ball to second base. Connor Carty gets it and snaps it over to Tyler Pop at first base for the out.
Tell you, Steve, Lenahan really looks in control now. He looks very relaxed. He settled down nicely, Great job by him. It was a rough first inning, but he's really come back.
Yeah, it looks like that first inning he was just trying to throw a strike. And then the aggressiveness of East Haddam probably surprised him a bit. And that's all it takes is a couple of runners to get on base, and then boom, one big hit, and you're trailing by a number. But the Middletown's offense was good enough to come right back. There's a hard hit ball, 2-bouncer to Pop. It gets by him, and that's going to be an E3. That's the second error of the game for
second baseman number
Middletown.
12, Connor Egan.
Steve, it looked like it kind of took it was a hard hit ball at him, and he really didn't have a lot of time to react. Very tough play, went right through his legs.
Yep, Tyler Pop, a catcher from Haddam Killingworth during the high school season, playing first base here for the Middletown American Legion team. Lenahan now will have to go from the stretch. He winds. His glove is high above his chin. And then there's a high fly ball to the left fielder, and standing there catching it right around where he was standing originally. He just takes about 1 or 2 steps back for the second out. So what should have been the third out is only the second out. And now with 2 outs and a runner on first, up comes C.J. Westbrook, who had that push bunt, sacrifice bunt, his first time up.
I'll tell you, though, Steve, East Haddam is coming out aggressive. They are swinging at first pitches. They're ready to go. They're swinging.
Big lead at first base. When I say big, probably 3.5 steps. Now he takes a little bit of a half step back. Throw to first, not in time. Step and a dive by Cully. Not a bad time to run. Tie game, runner on first, 2 outs. You want to get that guy down there. Number 5 hitter up. Lenahan comes set. Now he kicks a quick kick and deals. It's up high for ball 1.
Steve, how tough is it mentally for a pitcher when that runner's at first and he's got speed? I mean, do they get in their head sometimes?
Sometimes, absolutely. The big thing is, especially with 2 outs, is you got to be saying to yourself, it doesn't matter. If he steals, I'm going to get this guy out. And you got to throw strikes because even if he steals, you want to get a strike out of it.
Right.
You don't have to be ball 1 to the guy who's going to get it. Then it's 1-0 pitch. And, the best way is to try to vary your deliveries so he doesn't know when you're going to go. And there's a ball in the dirt, and then the runner goes. Do they got him? No. It bounces out to the center fielder. So they're going to call that a wild pitch because the runner was sort of hesitant, did not go, and then all of a sudden the ball hit the dirt and bounced around.
Steve, it looked like he had him, and then the ball.
Yeah, I know. The ball got away from the second baseman.
Yeah.
Yep.
The throw was on line. That's for sure.
Well, some of those clouds we saw in the distance before starting to make their way a little bit towards our stadium here. You can see off in left field, it's dark, it's grayish skies. Off in right field, it's blue. But it's 3-1 to the hitter, who's going to try to strike some lightning here for his team.
Lenahan's got to be careful with this pitch.
Yep. And with first base open, here's the 3-1. There's a slow grounder to short. Garofalo gets it, sidearms it to first, and gets the final out. So that'll do it here at the top of the third for East Haddam. They get no runs. There was no hits. There was an error. And they leave a runner on base. That's their second runner they left on base today. So we'll be back. The bottom of the third inning, we're still all tied between East Haddam and Middletown, 3-3.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined. I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before. And when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined. I never realized how...
All right, back here at Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut. We're all tied up at 3-3 between East Haddam, who's really given this 12-4 Middletown team a battle here. We're going to move on to the bottom of the third. So far, East Haddam, 3 runs on 2 hits. They've committed no errors. They left 2 on. For Middletown, they got 3 runs on a total of 3 hits. They committed 2 errors so far and left 1 runner on base. So stepping up to the plate now from Middletown will be Luke Garofalo, who got an inside-the-park home run last time up.
Shortstop number 10, Luke Garofalo.
Well, Mike, should we see one of those bolts of lightning or something around, under American Legion rules, it's an automatic half-hour delay.
Oh, okay.
From the last known lightning strike. So it goes a half hour from that final one you see.
Right.
So for safety of the players. So, all right. So still on the mound for East Haddam is David D'Antonio. His first pitch to Luke Garofalo. He's a little bit careful with him as he throws the ball 1 as Luke with that blast out to left center his last time up.
Very aggressive by Garofalo, running the bases. I think, you and I were both saying, is he going to get a triple? And then he turned it into
he just kept going.
Inside. Yeah, I wasn't even sure if he was going to get to third, and he just kept going.
He just kept flying around there now. It's 2-0 to Garofalo. As here's the windup in the pitch, and there's a strike. It's 2-1 now to Luke. And a little bit of bullpen action out there as they're just starting to lob the ball around as a second pitcher. We do have pitch count rules in American Legion this year, somewhat similar to high school, but not the same. There's a hard line drive base hit. That's going to be a 2-bouncer. It gets out to left field in a hurry. And solid single for Luke Garofalo. That's the 4th hit of his team for today so far.
Steve, Garofalo has very quick wrist. You could just tell by the way he swings. I mean, he's quick with the bat and very dangerous hitter.
Yep. And Garofalo, that brings up Tyler Popp, another dangerous hitter, who walked and scored a run his first time up. And there's a lob throw over to first by the pitcher, D'Antonio. As it looks like, as I said, Middletown being very, very aggressive. Usually your number 2 batter is a kid that can run too, along with your leadoff and your 9 batter most times. Their runner goes, and here's the throw down to second. It's a high throw, and it will not be in time. And Garofalo now steals a base. I got it as the 4th stolen base of the game.
Yeah, they're running tonight, Steve. And that was, again, a great jump by Garofalo. And now you got to be careful here. D'Antonio's got to be careful because,
The 0-1, there's a reached out ground ball to short. They're going to third. There's a mistake run on that when they get him. So a bad base running error by Luke Garofalo scored that one 6-5 on the fielder's choice. And wow, he wished he had that one back.
Steve, it's a case of being over-aggressive. I mean, he's been running great. He's been hitting great. And he just, he's out there to, run.
Yes.
So, it cost him. This is a big out, though, for D'Antonio.
As they say, it's a case for not using the noggin, as they say, on that one that was hit right in front of him. Well, the runner on first, see if they keep going. I don't know if Pop's a threat to run or not, but the first pitch is in there. For ball, well, it's not in there, a little bit later, so it's ball 1. So you got Tyler Popp on first now instead of a runner on second. And then he could have went to third on the throw anyway, Mike, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he could have tried to break
on the throw. That was a big out, Steve. Very big out. And
ground ball to third. Yep. And this one's going to go over to second for 1. Back to first. Did they get him? No. The ball gets away from the first baseman. The runner, Dixon, takes off for second. He'll be standing up. So fielder's choice, error on the second baseman. first error of the game for East Haddam.
You know, Steve, it looked like an easy double play ball. You know, I don't.
Baseman number 2,
Yeah.
Ben Alonso.
It looked like that time the second baseman, Egan, kind of long-armed it to first instead of, like,
You know,
wristing it over.
Didn't look like he hurried the throw like he should have.
Yeah. So now there's 2 outs instead of 3. Ben Alonso singled his last time up is up, and they got a runner in scoring position. As the saying goes, what would have happened if Garofalo did not break for third? And now with two outs, it's 1-0 now to the lefty, swinging Alonso, and he takes it out inside, rather, for ball 2.
You know, Steve,
Outfield not playing him very deep at all.
Funny thing about baseball, though, is just when, you know, you think you're going to have a big inning, you don't, and then when you think you're not, you do. I mean, like, little things happen. It's just amazing. They
They all add up at the end, too, usually. And there's a pitch outside, ball 3. So at first base open, D'Antonio.
Steve, let me ask you, with 2 outs, 3-0 count, if it's a good pitch, do you swing him? I think you do.
Well, it depends on the player, if he's a good enough hitter.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I don't know him all that well. It's the first time I've seen him this year.
That's the tough part, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean. There's some players, you got to know the player, I guess, before you can make that decision. Without knowing him, you just don't know what the heck he might do. And he walks anyway. So Alonso going to get a walk. That's the second walk issued today by D'Antonio. So runners are now at first and second.
Second baseman.
And I'm sure Coach D'Aquila is saying to himself, what if we didn't have that play at third base, right?
You know, you can't have them back. That's
Yeah.
the thing. You know, what ifs or what ifs.
Connor Carty steps in. He sack flied his first time up to the left. And here's the slide step delivery in there for a strike. So Lenahan that time mixing it up. Usually a guy on second, you see a guy high kick. That time he slide steps. You know, usually you don't have to slide step with a runner on second. There's a throw to first. Uh-oh, he stepped off, though, so it's not a balk.
Yeah, you don't know if D'Antoni's a little rattled over that double play ball. You know, got the guy at second.
That time he stepped off and just faked the throw to on first base. And there's a strike. Nice frame that time by the catcher, Westbrook. 2 umpires for today's games. The men wearing black shirts, gray pants are out there. First base umpire's out there between the mound and second base. There's a throw way up high, so it's 1-2. Sometimes they call that a waste. I call that a waste of a pitch because it's not even close to the zone.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, you talk about the umpires, Steve. These guys are probably umpiring 3 or 4 games a week.
Yeah,
so.
they're probably switching for the second half of this doubleheader. You know, both guys will switch places. One guy will do the bases, the other guy will do the plate. As it's now 2-2 to Connor Carty.
It's an important pitch here, Steve.
Yeah, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Top of third, tie game. Bottom of third, rather, tie game. Slide step pitch. It's a high fly to center field. It should be playable by the center fielder, Billy Anderson. And he makes the catch to retire the side. Well, for Middletown, they had some guys on, but they come up empty. They have no runs. There was only 1 hit. There was an error. And there were 2 runners left on base. So Middletown has left a total of 3 runners on base here today. We finished 3 full innings here at Palmer Stadium in Middletown, Connecticut. The score remains tied. East Haddam 3, Middletown 3.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
All right, this is Adam.
All right, back here at Middletown's Palmer Field, and leading off this inning for East Haddam, Matt Parker, grounded short his first time up. A substitution for Middletown, playing right field now, is number 5, Jack Higgs. He'll be in the 9th spot, batting for Billy Egan. And there's strike 2 to the leadoff hitter, Parker.
Steve, what is the pitch count rule for Legion?
I'm not totally sure. I'd have to look it up, but it's different than the one for high school. I know that each coach is responsible now. It's 1 and 2 to the batter. Each coach is responsible now to record it. So they have to have a sheet in the dugout where you record the pitches that every pitcher throws.
Right.
I don't know how they're going to police that, but I mean, I'll look that up. See what the pitch count rule is. But there's a ball in the dirt, so it's 2 and 2 now to Matt Parker. I know they changed it for the tournament too, so it's a little bit different. And here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a chopper down to second base. Moving towards the middle is Cardy. He throws it to first for the first out of the inning.
Nice play by Cardy, Steve. He stumbled a little bit, but recovered well and made a nice play. Very nice play.
Yep. Coming up next, David D'Antonio, the pitcher. He struck out the first time up. Lenahan still on the mound for Middletown. Got banged around a little bit in the first inning, but has settled down pretty well.
Yeah, both pitchers, Steve, have recovered nicely, and looks to be a great, game.
And Lenahan winds and deals. His fastball's down low. Lenahan looks into the sign from Famigletti, gets it, and here's the 1-0 is in there for a strike. And the 1-1 is low for a ball, so it's 2-1. See if I can find that pitch count rule somewhere on this internet. And there's a ball down low, so it's 3-1 to Dave D'Antonio. As it's basically a cloud cover over about 3/4 of the park. And there's ball 4. As D'Antonio walks on 5 pitches, only the first walk issued here this evening by Lenahan. So with 1 out, East Haddam has a runner aboard. And brings up Brandon LaChance, who bats from the left side. See if East Haddam stays aggressive with their running game as well. Lenahan comes set. Foot almost against foot, a little bit off. There's a foul ball coming back towards us. Maybe we'll get the noise. Nope, we didn't get our usual bang on the rooftop here at Palmer Field.
Good effort by the catcher, Stevie.
Yeah.
Pretty much ran right into the fence trying to make that catch.
Yep.
Very good effort.
He really went after it. And since this is his home park, he sort of knows exactly where how to chase those down.
How difficult is it for an opposing pitcher, Steve, who doesn't know the ballpark as well? I mean, is it trying to get used to the mound and stuff? You were a pitcher, so you would know. How difficult is that?
Well, I wasn't a pitcher in high school, so or
true.
college. So,
Right.
but yeah, it's the question really is this: if this park, no, because they do such a great job with their mound. But a lot of parks, obviously, in the summer, especially in the summer, you're going to get that huge hole out there that forms, and they don't maintain them very well. But not here. I don't think this is hard at all. Yeah, it's more for the batters to get used to the background, maybe a little bit. Well, the pitch count rule, I was just looking it up, Mike, and it said that the 19 and unders, they will not be able to exceed 120 pitches in any single day. Pitchers in the juniors can't exceed 107. There's a ground ball to second base. The spin to short for 1. Back to first. Double play.
Beautiful double play, Steve.
Yep, pretty 4-6-3 double play will do it here in the top of the 4th for East Haddam. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We're halfway through here at Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut. The score remaining, East Haddam 3, Middletown 3.
go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I would encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I would encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2.
All right, back here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Colt Needman will lead it off here for Middletown. And still on the mound, Dave D'Antonio, and there's a bloop out into right field. Coming on and making a slide dive is a right fielder, Cully.
Great catch by Cully, Steve. Nice dive.
Catcher number 22,
you know, well played.
Famigletti.
Yeah, nice slide dive, as you said, Mike.
Yeah, looked like it was definitely a hit. And
yeah. Legion rules are if you throw 1 to 45 pitches in a game, that requires 1 day of rest. High school, it's 25. 46 to 60 pitches requires 2 days of rest. As there's a first pitch ball to the right-handed hitting Ryan Famigletti, who flied to left his first time up. 61 to 75 requires 3 days, and 76 or more requires 4 days. And failure to adhere to the rule leads to the ejection of both the pitcher and the team manager if a protest is filed to the umpire-in-chief. Yeah, but how are you going to prove it? Yeah, no, that's a whole nother ballgame. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a hit batter there, first one of the game. As D'Antonio hits the number 8 hitter, Famigletti. You know, that's another thing. We'll have to see how it pans out in high school, Mike, this year. So we're going to ensure that we're going to get word of how these statistics. Quite frankly, myself, on the high school level, I just thought that they should have expanded it one more day. Instead of having all these rules with pitch counts, maybe they should have considered simply making it 4 days, you know, and no more than 10 innings in 4 days, or something like that, which is easier to enforce, you know, easier to keep track of. I mean, every team's going to have a player doing this, or then what do you do? How do you dispute it? You know, like when it's really close, one guy says, my guy threw 74 pitches. You're going to say, oh, no, he threw 75.
Right.
Maybe they should have something at the end of the game. You agree on what everybody else pitched. I don't know.
It's definitely got to be discussed.
There's a strike.
There has to be a better system for it.
Jack Higgs steps in now. He came into the game for Egan last inning. Higgs bats from the right side. The runner on first, 1 out. And the runner goes, and there's the pop-up. He'll have to come back. The second baseman, Egan, he gets it. Here's the throw to first. No, is the speedy Famigletti had really hustled to get back to first base. So score that one a P4, and now there's 2 outs. Well, I mean, like I said, it's anything, you know, can they get the cooperation of high school coaches to do that? I mean, do it correctly. We have to report them. On the high school level, you have to send them in. Now in Legion, you have to send them in.
Right.
So it's going to be up to the honor system of the coaches. The runner goes again. Here's the throw to second. Wrist snap. Do they get him? Yes, they do.
Beautiful
so that
throw,
time, yeah.
Steve. Beautiful throw.
Yep. Famigletti, it looked like a really quick one as he was slide stepping. D'Antonio made it that much more difficult, and he gets him out. So the threat is erased here. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. So we're through 4. Score remains tied. East Haddam 3, Middletown 3.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas...
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion.
Well, back here at Palmer Field, Middletown, we got a good one going here. In our second game of broadcasting this year on SportingNewsCT.com and our coverage of the exclusive coverage of Connecticut American Legion baseball. As we're in the top of the fifth inning now, and Billy Anderson will come up. He struck out his first time for East Haddam, batting from the left side. Lenahan still on the mound for Middletown, and there's ball one.
You know, Steve, that wasn't a bad idea by Middletown to try to send the runner. There were 2 outs. It was a good call, you know, and it was a good throw, but it was the right call to make.
Well, then you come up with the top of the order anyway.
Yeah,
the next inning.
so,
That's the strategy.
Yeah. So it didn't really hurt him.
And they were 4 for 4 going into that throw.
Yeah.
And you got the hammer, I guess. There's a high fly to right field. That one's chasing down into the corner. It's going to be extras. Rounding first and heading to second is Anderson. He'll be hold up at second. They might have him at second now. Do they? No. Billy Anderson ripped that one into the corner. He almost overran second base to the point of getting out.
You know, Steve, you talk about the size of this ballpark. If that were Yankee Stadium, the 314 porch, that's over the fence, but it was 322 and he just missed it. So, I mean, you know, this is definitely not a home run hitter's ballpark.
No, not with a wooden bat.
No. But
not with any bat, really.
He really hit that hard. I mean,
well, yeah. Now the question is, when you got Lenahan on the mound, you top of the fifth, or whether you saw a little lightning bolt. I just saw one out in the left field, way out there in left field. If they stop the game, then you don't have an official game yet until Middletown bats in the bottom of the fifth, I suppose. So, but there's a runner on second base now with a 0-1 count to the leadoff hitter. The ball's in the dirt, and the runner gets to third. So they're going to call that a stolen base because the runner was breaking on the pitch anyway. So East Haddam using their speed, and now that'll force Middletown to bring their infielders up on the edge of the grass in this 3-3 ball game. So Linares up now in a 1-1 count. Here it is. It's up high for ball 2. So John Linares, who got on and scored a run in the first inning, got on an error, and then he lined softly out to the right fielder in the second inning, is now up again with a chance to put his team ahead. And here's the pitch from Lenahan. There's a hard ground ball to the shortstop. He gets it on 2 bounces, checks the runner at first, back over to first. They have to tag the runner. And they get him. It looked like Pop had his foot off the base, then just tagged the runner as he ran through him.
Steve, great job by the shortstop holding the runner. That was a great play. And, you know, you just wonder now with 1 out, if you're East Haddam, do you try maybe a drag bunt, you know?
Yeah, perhaps. It's a little tougher when you do the squeeze scenarios with left-handed batters, you know, because you could see the runner in the corner of your eye to catcher. There's a strike. Well, no, it's a ball, up high. Thought it was in there, but a little bit of a delayed, nothing. Yeah. Delayed nothing. It's 1 ball, no strikes now to left-handed hitting Luke Johnson. He'll get into a fielder's choice, then ground it out to second. He'll try to hit it hard wherever he hits it. Lenahan will try to get him to strike out or pop up. Here's the pitch. It's outside for ball 2.
It's a big run for East Haddam, Steve. They have to get that runner home.
And Lenahan looks in for the sign from Fambigletti. He gets it. Now he stretches, kicks, and deals. In there for a strike.
Tell you, you're never sure until he puts the arm up. You can't tell.
I saw way out in left field, Mike. I could see it off in the horizon. I saw a couple of bolts of lightning out there. Lenahan. He wants to get him out. Here's the pitch. It's high for ball 3. Sean Lenahan trying to work out of this. Gave up 3 in the first. Only 1 of them was earned, I believe. Now trying to get out of this one. Here's the pitch. It's, ooh, that was close. They're calling it ball 4. That was a close pitch.
Steve, I noticed he's a little wild against lefties. He's had a little difficulty tonight getting the ball over the plate against left-handers. So this is a big batter as well, a left-handed batter.
And will they run the runner first and third, see what happens. First base is Johnson. John Cully up now. He got a 2 RBI double his first time up. The runner goes. Here's the pitch. It's in there for strike. They fake the throw to second, and there's no throw. So stolen base by Luke Johnson. Runners now at second and third.
I'm sure it was a take all the way, Steve, but that was a good pitch to swing. I mean, it was right down the pipe. He could have definitely swung at that.
Yeah, now he's 0-1 on him. Runners at second and third. Here's the pitch. Curveball, and that's just misses.
Looked like a strike to me, Steve.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the 5th inning, East Haddam threatening with runners on second and third. And 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. But that one hits the dirt a little bit, so they're going to say that one is strike on a miss. It's 1-2 now.
Lenahan has really battled tonight. He really has. And, they've threatened a little bit, but
Lenahan really wants to get a strikeout here. And I'm sure that Cully wants to put the ball in the outfield here. Here's the pitch, 1-2. It's grounded fouled on the first baseline. Cully, who's got a 2 RBI double his first time up. Then he got on an error by the first baseman his second time up back in the 3rd inning. And he's here now with a chance with runners on second and third and 1 out to put his team ahead. Here's the 1-2. Line drive, right field if it's fair, but it's not. And if it's fair, would have scored 2, but it's foul.
Tell you, that was a good swing, Steve. He just missed getting an extra base.
Yeah.
Hit,
Now, if you got a change up, you might want to throw it.
Yeah. Very good swing, though.
He ripped it.
Lenahan has got to be careful how he pitches to him.
Yeah. Egan on deck. He got a double his first time up. Here's the pitch, and swing and a miss. He gets him. And Lenahan with a big strikeout. And now his infielders can back up.
Second baseman, number 12, Connor Egan.
So his 4th strikeout of the game, and it brings up Connor Egan. He doubled and flied to left. They're playing him basically to pull.
Lenahan really put something on that fastball, Steve.
Yep. And here Lenahan still from the stretch with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. It's a high fly ball. This should end the inning. Circling, it's the center fielder. He calls for it. He gets it, and Lenahan gets out of it. So for East Haddam here in the top of the 5th, they threatened but come away empty. They have no runs. There was 1 hit. There were no errors, but they leave 2 runners on base. That's their 3rd and 4th runners left on here base. Well, they're stretching in Middletown here at Palmer Field. They're going to the bottom of the 5th. We're still tied 3-3.
The American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
All right, back here at Palmer Field. We've got a good one. It's still 3-3. East Haddam scored 3 runs in the 1st inning. So did Middletown, and since then, neither team has scored, although East Haddam had a big threat last inning with runners on second and third and 1 out, but they couldn't come up with a run. And now that brings the top of the order up for Middletown here in the bottom of the 5th.
Big strikeout by Lenahan, Steve, when there was 1 out. The batter drilled the ball twice. They were both foul, and then he came back and struck him out. That was a big strikeout right there.
Yeah, it certainly was. And D'Antonio's first pitch to Petrozello is the ball one down low. Petrozello has scored a run. Got a single in the first inning, stole second and third and scored, and then grounded to short. And here's the 1-0. And that one is in there on the edge for a strike. The lights are on here at Palmer Field. As dark clouds have sort of hovered over us. And here's the 1-1. There's a fly ball to right field. Sinking. Goes right off the glove of the East Haddam right fielder. Petrozello's going for 2. Will he run for 3? And he turns on the brakes, and here's the throw, and it's not in time. So a double down the right field line, just off the edge of the glove of the right fielder, Cully. He just couldn't get it.
Steve, great job by Cully, though, to recover, because I thought that was going to be a 3-base hit. I really did with Petrozello's speed, and, he recovered nicely, got right to the ball. But if you're Middletown here, I think you're going to bunt.
Well, I don't know about it with Garofalo's got the
True.
inside park homer and a single. He's 2 for 2.
But runs are hard to come by right now. You may want to get that guy over to third.
Or he may just simply steal it flat out like he's been doing.
They're not holding him on, that's for sure.
Yeah, not that closely now. A little bit of a delay there. Slide step, and that's one thing that D'Antonio's going to try to do is mix it up. But he's 2-0 now to Garofalo. There is nobody out, so. And here comes the 2-0 delivery to Garofalo. Ball 3. This may be the unintentional walk.
Yeah. I would just put him on.
Yeah. I think in American Legion now you could just put him on because Major Leagues you can.
Right.
American League rules, so you can just put him on. Just say go ahead, and take first. You don't have to throw the 4 pitches like it's high school. There's a pitch. That should be a strike, 3-1.
Yeah.
Well, Garofalo didn't get the green light there, but it's 3-1 now. Nobody out, Middletown threatening. Bottom of the 5th inning, runner on second is Petrozello, the speedy runner out there, and there's ball 4. And third walk of the game for D'Antonio.
First baseman number 15.
Now let's see if Tyler Pop, and this young man, I don't remember in high school where he bunted.
I think here, you know what, you got a big inning possibly. He's going to swing, definitely.
Yeah, I know. Just look at the young man, the size of him. In high school season, I don't remember him bunting. That's why. They either clocked it somewhere or intentionally walked him. And there's a strike on the outside part of the pitch. Great pitch by D'Antonio that time, Mike. That ball basically just tipped the edge of that plate.
Yeah, Steve, D'Antonio's not afraid to battle. He's throwing.
And here's the slice. The runners are going. Here's the pop up in the infield. Both runners have to go back as Lightning strikes out way out in the distance, but infield fly rule anyway. So the fielder did not have to catch it. But in any event, he does, and there's now 1 out.
Number 4, Jim Dixon.
Steve, that was an obvious hit and run. And,
that
was a big out for East Haddam. It really was. You got their third
now with 1
out.
Dixon comes up, the number 4 hitter. He's flied to center, got into a fielder's choice 5-4. So now wouldn't they love to get another double play ball here? Big gap, though, between second and third base when they're bird-dogging Petrozello on second. This is the advantage of having that speed out there, is they really are widening that area where the pull hitter, Dixon, can hit that ball through. And here's a slide step time was called. And the pitcher then has to hold up his pitch. That could be dangerous to a pitcher.
Tell you what, Steve, there's definitely some thunder going on, though.
That's what I mean.
There's lightning.
Yeah. D'Antonio slide steps, curveball way inside. Well, that might have been a fastball, rather. It did look like he tried to get a little bit of spin on it, but it didn't work. It went inside. So for Dixon, it's 1 ball, no strikes. Runners at first and second. We're all tied up here in the 5th, 2-2. There's a throw to second, 3-3 rather. Here's the throw to second, not in time. On the mound since the beginning has been David D'Antonio. He's given up 5 hits, has struck out no one. He'd love to get one here. He's walked 3, hit 1, but he's battled. And here's the 1-0 delivery outside, ball 2. So it's 2-0 to the number 4 hitter, Dixon. You just don't want to be behind these hitters like this. And here's the 2-0 slide step. That one misses up high. 3-0.
You know, Steve, if he doesn't get him here, this might be his last batter. They've got somebody warming up.
Somebody warming up.
Yeah, I believe it's number. I can't really.
Yeah, I
make
can't
out the
see that
number.
far, but it looks like he's throwing a knuckleball.
Another pickoff. No.
Yep, another throw to second, not in time. Well, we'll go over that East Haddam defense again. Brandon LaChance at first, Connor Egan at second, Luke Johnson at short, Matt Parker at third base, John Linares left, Billy Anderson center, John Cullion right. And D'Antonio still on the mound. Here's the 3-0. There's a strike. Dixon not given the green light there. As the coach down at third base, Tim DeQuilla, basically just gives him the sign saying, hey, zone in on a ball. Look for that one middle in. Drive it someplace. Here's the pitch, and he drives it somewhere. That's going to be extra bases into the gap in left field. One run's going to score, but he's not really flying around the base. He's sort of jogging. Here's the second one. He's coming home, and there will be no throw. So a 2 RBI double for Tim Dixon. And just like that, the game is now 5-3 in favor of Middletown.
You know, Steve, when you get behind in the count like that, there's no margin for error, and he had to throw a strike, and Dixon creamed it.
Yeah, that's what happens. As you can hear that rumble of thunder out there as they're now talking to the pitcher. Yeah, game's official anyway at this point. No use in the delay for that reason only. But out there, I'm sure Coach Johnson wants to talk to him, and he's going to leave him in.
Third baseman number 2, Ben Alonso.
There's a score now. That's Middletown's 6th hit of the ball game, and they now have 5 runs on 6 hits.
You know,
in
Steve,
the game.
with a doubleheader too, I'm sure he doesn't want to have to use a lot of the bullpen. You know, you don't know what to expect the second game, so if he can continue to pitch, he's going to pitch.
And there's a high fly ball to center field. The center fielder at first stood still, then he just drifts back, and there's going to be a sack fly. Well, actually, it doesn't get scored as a sack fly. Whoop, the umpires, I think, are going to call it for lightning there. There was the bolt out in center field. So that was going to be scored that one in F8, gets the runner over to third. But they're now going to call a delay in this game for lightning.
But time has been called. Thank you.
So the game is now official with Middletown ahead in this game by a score of 5-3 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. When they resume play, if they do in this game, there is 2 outs with a runner on runner on third base rather, on the fly ball to center there where Timmy Dixon took off for third base. Well, Mike, so far this game was a 3-3 ball game from the beginning. You know, aggressive play in the first inning. Then next thing you know, the team settled down. Everybody put up zeros until here in the bottom of the 5th inning, where Middletown was able to score 2, and it seemed like D'Antonio was falling behind hitters, and that's the recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and you know, Steve, both pitchers have battled tonight. They haven't had their best stuff, but they've battled, and they really did a good job. And D'Antonio did a good job. It's just he got behind in the count, and Dixon made him pay for it.
Yeah. And not only Dixon, but also the leadoff hitter, Cal Petruzzello.
He's been a pest all night.
Yeah, he certainly has. He scored twice, got a double, a single, stole 2 bases. He's certainly somebody that's deserving of that leadoff hitter's spot position in there.
He's very fast, you know.
So it looks like I'm just listening to the home plate umpire say they're coming back to re-examine stuff in 20 minutes, but I think there's a rule. It's usually an automatic 30-minute.
At least 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Situation will be reassessed 20 minutes from now.
So they will look at everything. The players now are off the field. There's no rain here yet. The players are off the field. They will bring the tarps out just in case. It's not a bad idea. Just in case it does start pouring, you have to go running out on the field during the rain and lightning to throw tarps out. So it's not a bad idea to get those out there now. So the Middletown groundskeepers getting out with the pitching thing out there, the pitching tarp.
And in the event of rain, Steve, the field does drain very well here. Probably one of the best.
It is one of the best, and if we do have a delay, it's not going to be that long. And question is, if they be very interesting, because if you're canceling the first game, and then what are you going to do? Start the second game?
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of an interesting thing there. If I'm East Haddam's coach, I'm like, wait a minute. You know, if we have a doubleheader scheduled, but if you call a game off, can you really call it off now and then wait a half hour and say, oh, we got to get game 2 in, or should game 2 be sacrificed?
Right.
If you have a long delay to pick up the game, and I think you have to do that. I think you're going to be forced to continue this game or not. I don't know. You can't play that second game. You're not going to get it in. There's not going to be enough time, right? So.
Right. And Steve, let me ask you, with a half-hour delay like that, how does it work in high school? Would they take these pitchers out or bring them back out there?
That all depends on the player. Like
Yeah.
in a pitcher, like usually, I would say this much. You know, if you looked at both of these pitchers right now, especially D'Antonio, he may be at the end of his rope, so to speak. So you could
Right.
start a new kid in this game. Like I said, it all depends on who pitched yesterday. With all these pitching rules,
Yeah.
now it matters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who pitched yesterday? Who pitched the day before? Who's eligible? Who's not? You know, you got a second game to play.
Right.
What are you going to do? Are you going to play the second game? If you're not, then you throw the second starter out there and say, to heck with it. You know, let's
Right.
throw him. So a lot of that's going to go through these guys' minds, I'm sure, before this game resumes. But, you know, we got a pretty good game here. I mean, you know, this is our second game on Sporting News CT. We did the first one with the Wizard Don Boyle. We did a game between Orange and West Haven. That was a bit of a blowout a bit. Like I think it was 10-1 or something in favor of Orange. This is our second game this year, and we're going to move on to do a lot of games this summer, as well as the American Legion State Tournament and some games in the New England Regional Tournament, which this year is being played at Holy Cross College up there, I believe, which is a great stadium to play baseball in. So it's going to be an exciting year for American Legion baseball across the state. We're seeing a lot of teams that are playing a lot of games in a short amount of time period. And a lot of teams are flip-flopping first and second. I saw Zone 4 down there, Greenwich running away with it. Well, not really running away with it, but they undefeated again.
Yes.
In their zone again. I mean, they're an incredible team every year. Greenwich is up there. But right on their heels every year is Stanford. They were in the finals last year, Stanford. Then behind them, behind Stanford, is always Trumbull is always up there every year, so they're battling in Zone 4. Zone 2, it seems like a race between, right now, it seems like a race between Orange and Stratford. In this zone, you got 3 or 4 teams. You know, you have Cheshire, Merredin's in it, Middletown's certainly in it. They're still battling in it. You know, Guilford at 10-7 is not totally out, depending on the number of games.
Right.
You know, the interesting thing, Mike, about across the state is each zone has a different way of playing their games. So if they play everybody 3 times, some zones mix up the schedule. Other zones play series. So like in Zone 2, where West Haven and Orange, you're playing a series of 3 games in a row against each team.
Right.
So sometimes in some zones, you virtually know who's going to win the zone in a sense, because the team that might beat them, you already played your 3 games against. So there's no more games left between those 2 teams. But in some zones, they mix the schedules up, so you could have 1 game left, for example, at the end of the year between 2 teams who were in the battle for their zone championship.
Right.
And, you know, you don't have to be the zone winner to make the state tournament ultimately, but it's a big, big advantage. And when you get to the state playoffs, because you have to down that the zone winner gets in the final 8, so it's kind of like you're battling, and you're trying to get your way to the final 8 teams in Connecticut. And then the final 8 is split up into 2 zones, 4 apiece, and they play double elimination.
So, you know, you got a game to spare.
Yeah, so there's a game, a double elimination when you get down to the end of it. The New England Regionals are double elimination. So, but in the zones, they usually play each other 3 times. Some, you know, depending upon the number of teams. Some zones have 9 teams. Some zones have 8 teams. So it's a mix-up. But we know in Zone 7, we got RCP running away with it again. I'll check the website here for Zone 8. See how South Windsor's doing up there with Talon. Talon was ahead of that zone for a while. See if they're still up there, and so on. So, you know, right now it's just looks like there's a light rain coming down here at Palmer Field. We are in a rain delay.
Yes. Yep.
And you know, we'll recap this game just a little bit. I guess is why we're talking for 20 minutes. Sometimes the rain delay forces us to get things out there for it. But the game all started with Johnny Linares from East Haddam. He got on an error. Luke Johnson got on the fielder's choice. And then a 2 RBI double by John Cully. And then it was followed up by a double by Connor Egan. And just like that, it ended up East Haddam scored 3 runs in the top of the first. But Middletown came right back. Cal Pritcherzello got on. He blooped a single his first time up, stole second and third, and then Luke Garofalo walloped a left center inside the park home run. Tyler Pop walked. Tim Dixon flied out. Alonzo got a single. Then Connor Carty got a sac fly. So Middletown came right back to make it 3-3. And I thought the key was the home run. I mean, because that just sort of said, it's 3-2 now. This game's we're back in it right away. And it came at it very, very quickly. And Garofalo had his team right back in it. His pitcher then gets right back in it, and it goes from there.
Yeah, and you know, Steve, the other thing is I really thought early on when I saw this, it looks like the rain is coming down now.
Yeah.
I really thought it was going to be like a 10-7 game. Both pitchers did a great job battling back. I mean, they really did. And especially Lenahan, because, you know, early on it looked like they were just going to tattoo him. And he got out of the inning, and he's been great ever since.
Yeah, and the big one for Lenahan was he had runners on second and third with 1 out there in the 5th inning. And he had a big, big strikeout of John Cully with 1 out.
Yes, yeah.
Because now you eliminated the ability for a sac fly or anything like that.
Right.
And then you just got Connor Egan to fly out there. So that was a big, big strikeout of the 3-batter, John Cully, for Lenahan. And you're right, the rain is coming down now. We hear it on our metal roof here at Palmer Field. And they got the tarp out on the mound, so we're going to have a bit of a rain delay here. So we'll
Steve,
keep
I
the
don't
stream
think they're going
going.
to be able to play this second game.
Probably not.
You know,
yeah.
it's not looking like it right now.
Well, if you could look at it, here's the interesting thing about Palmer Field, and we've talked about this. If you look at the infield, some fields might have been extremely bad looking already. Not this field.
No.
Right now, it looks like it's just soaking up the water.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll just have to see how that plays itself out. You know, looking across the state, we'll try to take a look. I'll look on my little website thing here. On the American Legion Baseball website. We'll pull that up in a second. But we'll be back on the air tomorrow night, folks, from Trumbull High School, where we're going to do a game between Danbury, New Canaan, and Trumbull High. And then on Thursday, we're going to be down at Muzzy Field doing a great game scheduled between Simsbury and Bristol. So that should be a good one as well. So this year we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to try to line up all the games between teams that are battling for events. We'll try to spread it out as much as we can until we get to the tournament, obviously. Then it's whoever's playing that we broadcast. We're going to try to get as much coverage across the state as we can. So we're trying to spread it between the zones. We've already did a game from Zone 2. This is Zone 3. Tomorrow night we're going to do a game with Zone 4. Between Trumbull and Darien. Trumbull still in the thick of things down there in Zone 4. Zone 4. And then we're going to be looking at Bristol in Zone 1, playing Avon. Right now, Avon winning that zone. Bristol, and I think a couple other teams right on their heels.
So. Right.
So it's a good one here. Well, look at it. Looking at East Haddam's Sean Lenahan, he's given up 3 hits, struck out 4. Middletown's Sean Lenahan. He's given up 3 hits, struck out 4, walked 2. And then for Dave D'Antonio on the flip side, he's given up 5 hits so far for East Haddam, struck out no one, and 3 walks and 1 hit batter. So the K's have helped Sean Lenahan, especially the big one there in the 5th inning. So we're still in a rain delay here at Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut. The score remains East Haddam 3 with Middletown scoring 2 here in the bottom of the 5th, so the game's official. We're going to have to see how this plays out. Well, we're going to go off the air for a while. We'll be showing some commercials for a little bit, or if we will be back as soon as we have more information about when the game is going to resume, if at all. And so stay tuned here on SportingNewsCT.com, our exclusive coverage of Connecticut American Legion baseball.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas,
we're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion.
Team's big game. SportingNewsCT.com is Connecticut's broadcast home for high school sports, college sports, and American Legion baseball. Whether it's football, soccer, basketball, hockey, baseball, softball, or lacrosse, we stream it live. Can't watch the game live? Then check out our on-demand rebroadcast. Want a keepsake? Download an audio broadcast or order a DVD. There's more. SportingNewsCT.com features interviews with coaches, players, and administrators. The game's on. SportingNewsCT.com. SportingNewsCT.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people, but most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself. You're able to grow in so many ways. Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
How much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined. I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Right now, from what I understand, my wife figured out the bus that goes to movies from up there. Worked out great for us. That's where it's going to go. That I kept saying. You know, he was switching a lot. He gets up there, he's like, he's confident. Even at the end, he's got a program. What was he on the 18th hole on regulation? He only had 100. They say he went to a stand with. He only had 100. No, Luke, I think, is a left wing. Yeah. Yeah, but one of them has his son playing.
I guess they don't want to go past it, they were saying. Sometimes they're more comfortable hitting it on that bunker than they are, you know. That's crazy looking that way. I just get my pants and pick it up.
Halfway down. They could jump halfway down. Run. He said that it was good.
Let's take the right out of him. We got the hockey in third. So we go there. We have corporate row tickets. So my buddy that I went with, his friend lives 7th hole. There's all brand new houses. There's like a row of, like right by the green house. This row of like brand new street, new bay garage house, and he's in one of them. And it's diagonal with 7th hole. So they have a fence there with a gate, but the gate was only for like letting cars in and out, you know. So we get to his house. This was 11:30. You guys want a beer? We had like 3 of them at his house. He goes, let's go in. He doesn't have a ticket, the guy. We walked right through that gate. We had tickets, so we didn't care, but you weren't supposed to walk them. So McElroy was coming down. We saw him on the 7th. And then he goes, here, follow me. We'll go to the members only area. So that was along the first hole. he's a member there too. So we go in there, they have these little vodka drinks for 12 bucks. We get them double. We must have 4 of those vodkas. And Steve comes walking by, and they usually walk right by. Because they walk right along that members only to the first tee. After they get from the putting green, they go left by. So they're all walking by. Buddy, we didn't even get right after we So finally we said, let's go to the corporate row. So we go to corporate row. We show her, oh no, you're down there. So we keep going. We're like, by that time, we're the charges. We end up being on the 16th hole that overlooks 15, 16, and see off the 17. We're in the first row down there, watching them. And there was this older couple. I think they were from Sarasota, New York. So they were in their like 80s. And this lady, I was betting her. I bet you he doesn't make that up. She goes, $10, she says. She was a feisty woman. So I must have bet her 5 times. I was up $10 at the end. And then I go, this guy had a 25-footer. I go, I bet you he makes known he wasn't. I just wanted to get the money back. So he didn't make it. I gave her a money back. So after that, so the tournament's over. We go back to this guy's house. We started hitting balls to the 7. It was short. It was only from here. It was starting from here to the pitches. You know? So we're hitting balls like that. They get pissed off. They come yelling. Guys, Yorkshire. I think it's like that was real good. So then after that, my buddy goes, what's a good bar to go down from? And that's so we go to Esther. I remember walking in there. I don't remember walking out. No. He's a detective with me. So I walk into Esther. Who the hell's there? Kara. All Kim's, because that's Kim's night to go there. Thursday. It's late. It's it's happy hour till 10 o'clock, which the drinks are half price. You know, if you're at the bar, so it's real good. So I remember seeing them when I walked in. She was there? No, she was. She goes, what are you checking up? I go, Kim, I didn't even know what day it was. I didn't know. I could care less. I probably wouldn't even notice you if you left. I didn't even go to work the next day. I was just going to say, I didn't call. So I get to work Monday, yesterday, figuring they were going to say something to me. They probably think I'm going to say anything, I'll just leave. They didn't say a word. Hello. It was beautiful. Thursday. I don't think I should. I don't remember. I think I should. Right? They do what they want in Brantford. How does Brantford get it? And those are big kids. Right there. That's done with now. It's going that way. Xavier's getting it now. Tell Donnie to start running for the hills.
dry the field. Dry in the wrong part of it.
These kids watch too much TV. Too much modern warfare. That Call of Duty. It's been 20 minutes.
Tim still out there? You don't have any in the car? Think you have any in hers? I got blankets in mine. I got one. I got one. Now it's gonna get. That's probably just as close.
There will be an extra charge for this.
No, I just like.
Your number and her number the same?
No. That's what I said. She didn't know your number.
Last thing I got is start texting you.
Might there be a
No.
Wi-Fi password around here?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask them up there. I don't know. Wi-Fi password.
Hey, good. What's happening? Where you been?
Good. How are you?
You're not working anymore, are you? Are you? Well, you got 45 years in that place?
Oh, I had 40 in May.
Oh, 40 only.
Next year.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Next year you're leaving, huh?
We're leaving up.
Nothing. Working at the Meriden PD still.
Still?
I was gonna retire. I could have retired 3 years ago, so I can leave any day I want. We'll see. Could be today, could be next week, could be next year. Who knows?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
My wife wants me to stay one more year. So.
What? To get 41?
No, no, to get some bills paid down and get the hell out of Connecticut.
Yeah.
We got, well, one kid is 18, but we adopted 3 boys, and
Oh, yeah?
the youngest just turned 10.
So who's playing here?
No one.
Oh, you just come and watch.
I have a 14-year-old that's playing in the Hearn Whalen. He'll be playing here Sunday, I guess.
Yeah? Oh, they still play here.
So, yeah, they have that week here.
You come to a lot of these games?
They do. I don't come to a lot.
You kind of missed it. You used to come all the time.
Yeah.
So him and I come all the time, and I said, we got to look up him. So I found him Sunday, and I said, when you're there Tuesday, show up.
Without this, forget it.
I know.
Yeah.
Even in the sun, you're out there in the sun. They're all double headers.
Yeah.
This saves you.
No, I've been spending enough time either down here or at other fields between the 2 boys, so I won't stay for the whole second game here either.
No, I won't. My son has his car here. Let me drive away.
Is your son playing?
Not right now. Number 13. She was sitting in the parking lot waiting to get out. She's going a smart one. Open the gate and call her. She didn't even bring you a jacket. Who had to bring you a jacket? Thank you. Who had to bring him a jacket? Moi. You're out. You're out. That hot tub's gonna have my name on it pretty soon.
What was that?
The hot tub's gonna have my name on it. You're
You
out.
can have the bills that go along with it.
You went to Michael's? Hey, Timmy just had a beautiful double.
Overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
SportingNewsCT.com is now streaming your team's big game. SportingNewsCT.com is Connecticut's broadcast home for high school sports, college sports, and American Legion baseball. Whether it's football, soccer, basketball, hockey, baseball, softball, or lacrosse, we stream it live. Can't watch the game live? Then check out our on-demand rebroadcast. Want a keepsake? Download an audio broadcast or order a DVD. There's more. SportingNewsCT.com features interviews with coaches, players, and administrators. The game's on. SportingNewsCT.com. Sporting News CT.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people, but most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself. You're able to grow in so many ways. Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus. That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut, and we're about to restart this game and continue it. Continue it from the bottom of the 5th inning as the rain has stopped and the grounds workers had gone out there and put some speedy dry around the mound area. Mound looks in pretty good shape. Field looks in pretty good shape. As we said before, this is a field that drains very well. The infield still looks in good shape. It looks just like a field that was just watered down a little bit pregame. So grass may be wet. Maybe the outfield's a little slick out there. Who knows? Yet we'll find out. But we're in the bottom of the 5th inning of a 5-3 ball game as Middletown came up with two runs here in the bottom of the 5th. And, Mike, it looks like that field out there is in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know that it rained. You wouldn't even know there was a rain delay.
Yeah. So the rain has moved away here from Palmer Stadium, and when we resume, Dave D'Antonia is still warming up on the mound, so he's going to be pitching to Connor Carty, who's going to step in with no count on him. And there's going to be a runner on third base with 2 outs, as Middletown had gotten their 2 runs this inning on the basis of a Cal Pietrozella double. Down the right field line, Luke Garofalo walked, and then you had a 2 RBI double by Tim Dixon, which was a big hit. So here we go, and D'Antonio pitching from the stretch to Connor Carty. And the first pitch from D'Antonio inside, ball 1. Well, we'll see, Mike, how the rain delay affected this pitcher. As D'Antonio is going to be, he's on the mound now. We'll have to see if Middletown throws Lenahan again or they come up with somebody new.
Yeah, I really didn't expect to see him back out there, to be honest.
Yep, and there's a fastball inside for a 2-ball, no strikes now count to Connor Carty. On deck, Cole Needman, the designated hitter. Yeah, there's another pitcher warming up in the Middletown bullpen. We'll see if Lenahan's day is done. And here's the 2-0. And that one's in there for a strike. A little delayed call there by the home plate umpire.
Well, we know the same umpires out there.
Yeah, that's for sure. 2-1 now to Connor Carty, the second baseman for this Middletown team. Connor on the day is 0 for 2, fly. Well, he's 0 for 1. He had a sac fly his first time up. There's one way outside for ball 3. So it's 3-1.
Good save by the catcher, Steve.
Yeah, nice backhand jump out there by C.J. Westbrook. Still got the same infield. Brandon LaChance at first, Connor Egan at second, Luke Johnson at short, Matt Parker at third. Here's the 3-1 delivery to Connor Carty, and it's in there for strike 2. So the count is full now with 2 outs. 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for East Haddam here. 5 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for Middletown so far in this game. And D'Antoni looks at the runner on third. The payoff pitch is a line drive, base hit into left field. That'll be another run. Well, but it gets by the left fielder. And scooting into second base, looks like it'll be a single and an error, I would imagine.
You know, Steve, it's, again, fell behind in the count.
It's a double.
Fell behind in the count, and, there was no margin for error. And sure enough, it cost him.
Well, now the score is 6-3 in favor of Middletown here in the 5th inning. And Middletown starting to see if they can pull away. But then again, they scored 3 in the first inning, and East Haddam got 3 also. So East Haddam's proven they're capable. And we have to see what happens with the Middletown pitching. Well, now stepping up to the bat is Cole Needman. He's fly to left, fly to right. First pitch to Needman is outside for ball 1. Yeah, you have a long delay like that. That was more than 20-minute delay. And then you have a pitcher who sits down and rests, and now he has to get up, and he already threw quite a few pitches. Here's the 1-0. And it's outside ball 2.
You know, there's nobody warming up in the bullpen, Steve, so that tells me that D'Antoni's going to finish this game.
Yeah,
you know?
either that or the second pitcher's on the field, I guess. That's the only other option, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the pitch, and it's low. So it's now 3-0. This inning, as he said, all started off with Cal pitcher Zello, who's been a spark plug here today. He's 2 for 3, scored 2 runs, stole 2 bases. And here's the 3-0. Slide step way outside, ball 4.
You know, Steve, obviously the delay's affecting him a little bit. He can't seem to get his control.
Yeah, and he's falling behind batters.
Yeah.
So if you figure the first 2 batters out of his, I think he threw about, say, 7, 8 pitches, probably 6 out of those 8 have been balls.
Yeah.
Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Ryan Famiglietti, the catcher, steps in, hit by a pitch fly to left. He'll try to extend this 6-3 lead. And D'Antoni checks the run at second, slide steps, curveball, brand new baseball, nice white shiny one. He's in there for a strike.
Tell you what, they did a great job with the field, though, Steve.
Yeah,
Again,
even though there was only 2 guys out there.
Yeah.
That's what happens. The only part of the field with actual dirt is the mound area, as you can see. Well, you can't see it on there's no monitor. We're not on video today, but we can see that the only part of this field that has regular dirt, I would say, is the mound area. Everything else is that gray gravel type scenario, which drains very, very well and has proved reason. There's strike 3 called. Pretty curveball that time by D'Antoni. That's his first strikeout of the game.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Yeah. So for Middletown here in the bottom of the 5th inning, they come up with 3 runs on a total of 3 hits. There were no errors, but they left 2 runners on base. That's their 4th and 5th runners on base. At the end of 5 full innings here from Bill Pomfret Stadium at Palmer Field, the score is Middletown 6, East Haddam 3. We'll be right back with the top of the 6th inning after these messages. Back here at Middletown's Palmer Field. We're back in the the top of the 6th inning, and a new pitcher on the mound for Middletown. It's Sebi Amenta. A right-hander will step up to the plate now, we step up to the mound, so the book is closed on Sean Lenahan. 3 hits, 4 Ks, 2 walks, no hit batter. So not a bad outing, Mike, by Lenahan.
No, he really, since the 1st inning, Steve, he's really, bounced back and put a good outing together, and he's kept them in the game.
Yeah, he's only given up 1 hit since that 1st inning.
Yeah.
So. Number 24, C.J. Westbrook.
And so C.J. Westbrook for East Haddam will step in. C.J. is 0 for 1. Sacrifice bunted in the 1st inning and grounded to short. So it'll be the first time he faces the relief pitcher, Sebi Amenta. And I think Lenahan's only given up 1 earned run in his 5 innings of work. As the first pitch is in there for a strike to Westbrook. Westbrook pulls that bat back and now rips it, but it's high fly. Left fielder's chasing it. He undercut it. Does he get it? Yes, he does.
Nice catch right there, Steve. I mean, I thought that was going.
Yeah, I thought he might have undercut it. It was going over his head.
Yeah, exactly.
He caught it on the run.
Yeah.
Baseman number 21,
Matt Parker steps up now to the plate. Matt is 0 for 2 on the day, grounded to short, grounded to second. So he's made Middletown work for those outs when he's up. And there's a ground ball to second. Oh, that one's going to get past the second baseman into right field for a base hit.
Good effort, Steve. It just, it was hit too hard, but good effort by the second baseman.
Yep. Fourth hit of the night for East Haddam hitters. Now they have a runner aboard. They trail by 3 by a score of 6-3. Up comes Dave D'Antonio, the pitcher.
Pitcher number 9, David.
Who struck out and walked. And now Amenta will go from the stretch. He looks in for the sign, nods his head yes. He likes the pitch. Comes back set foot against foot. Now deals. It's up high for a ball. Short lead over first base by Parker. He knows he's down by 3. See if East Haddam will continue to be aggressive or if they'll play a little conservative. Not a big lead at first. They're down 3 runs. There's the ball low, 2-0. I know if you just showed up to the field, you'd wonder, gee, did it really rain here?
You would never know it. It looks great.
Yeah.
Really, remarkable job by the grounds crew.
And now Sabenta takes a deep breath, comes set, throws. That ball scoots through the wickets, so to speak, and gets the runner to second. So that'll be a pass ball, I would imagine. Yeah.
Steve, sometimes it's hard coming out of the bullpen or, whatever the case is, coming in relief, You're not always sharp right away. It takes you maybe an inning to get it together.
Amenta comes set. Now he whirls. The runner had broken a couple steps away from the bag, but nobody was covering. Well, we still got the same defensive alignment for Middletown. Hard fastball. That one is in there for a strike. So it's now 3-1 to D'Antonio. We still got Ben Alonso at third. Garofalo. That's Luke Garofalo at short. Connor Carty at second base. Over there, Tyler Pops still at first. Way up high, ball 4. So that's the first walk, obviously, given up by Amenta. Third walk from Middletown pitchers. And that's going to bring Coach D'Aquila out to the mound to talk to his pitcher. He doesn't want this to go very far.
Steve, if you're Amenta, you just got to throw strikes. You got a 3-run lead. Whatever happens, but just throw strikes. You don't want to walk people.
Yeah, we're going to have a new pitcher, and we'll let you know who he is on the flip side of this important commercial.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
I never realized how much the American Legion did in our community until I was overseas and my family needed help. The Legion was there, taking care of things I couldn't, and they asked nothing in return. I guess it's because they know what I'm going through. They've been here before, and when I looked into it, I discovered that there was a way for me to continue to serve my fellow veterans and my community through the American Legion. That's why I joined.
All right, back here at Palmer Field, the new pitcher is going to be the second baseman, Connor Carty. He's going to come on the pitch. So Coach D'Aquila not waiting long after Sebi Amenta came in the pitch, got a fly out to left, gave up a single and a walk, and in comes Connor Carty. Well, in the switches that have been made is Cal Petrozzella. The left fielder now comes in to play second base, and the designated hitter, Cole Needman, comes in to play left field. So the DH is lost. So we have to see how they work out who bats in the DH spot when he comes around. Here's the first pitch from Connor Carty to the first baseman, Brandon LaChance, who's grounded out twice, once in a double play 4-6-3, the other 6-3. Runners are at first and second. There's one out. Hard fastball. There's a line drive right at the right fielder, and he gets it. That's Jack Higgs, who came in the game to replace Billy Egan and scored that one on L9, and there's 2 outs. So that pitch from Connor Carty was hit hard by LaChance, but no luck.
You know, Steve, East Haddam has done a good job hitting the ball to the right side, but unfortunately, it's been hit to the right fielder most of the time. They've hit line drives, done a good job going to the right side. It just hasn't went in the right spot.
Yeah. Now up comes the center fielder, Billy Anderson, who is 1 for 2, got a double down the right field line his last time up. So, one swing of the bat here, he could tie the game up, but he takes a swing and a miss. It looked like a little off speed, maybe a change up there by Connor Carty. So Connor Carty comes in.
Steve, he just didn't look really sharp when he was out there.
Amenta?
Amenta. Didn't look like he could get it going. So it was
the only other thing I thought about was maybe he was on a pitch count. They said,
it's possible.
From the day before, they wanted to keep him lower than,
right.
30 or something. I don't know. Or 20, 25. Who knows? Who knows? But you're right. He didn't look sharp. Here's the pitch. There's a foul ball into the netting behind home plate. And the count's now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on here for East Haddam, trailing 6-3 in the top of the 6th inning. And there's another pitcher warming up now for Middletown. Lefty. And Carty comes set, deals high for a ball. Well, it's 3-2 now. In the top of the order coming up. Should Anderson get on. Here's the payoff pitch. Runners will be going. And they go. Here it is. And it's popped up. And it's going to be in the infield. Playable by the shortstop, Garofalo. And he makes the catch to retire the side. Well, for East Haddam here, they got no runs on 1 hit, no errors. They left 2 runners on base. That's their 5th and 6th runners they've left on here this evening. So after 5.5 innings, Middletown leads 6-3.
Number 26, Brendan Dalton.
Well, East Haddam now in the bottom of the 6th inning will have a new pitcher. Brendan Dalton, the righty, will take over the duties for Dave D'Antonio, who's the pitcher of record so far. And D'Antonio's night is over then. He's given up 7 hits, 1 strikeout, 4 walks, 1 hit batter.
Yeah, I thought D'Antonio pitched good, Steve. He battled. He didn't probably have his best stuff, but he gave up 3 runs in the 1st inning, and then he gave up a couple in the 5th. Otherwise, he pitched really good.
Yeah, the big hit being that double by Tim Dixon there in the 5th inning after the leadoff double by pitcher Zello. So, yeah, it seemed like his pitch count was running up after that 1st inning and then pitched fairly well. He only had 2. Well, it's really 1, 2, 3 innings, but one of them there was a thrown route runner trapped into steal. So,
right.
But that's going to bring up here in the bottom of the 6th inning, the top of the order. The bottom of the order is Jack Higgs will come up. Higgs made a nice running catch on a line drive in the last inning. So he will now face Brendan Dalton for the first time here. So East Haddam is 3 runs on 4 hits. They committed an error. Middletown so far 6 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors. And the first pitch by Dalton is down low for ball 1. to the number 9 hitter, Higgs. Well, one thing you don't want to do when you're the relief pitcher coming in pitch to the 9 batter is walk him. So you want to at least – that ball's way up and in. You don't want to just put a guy on right away. High percentage of chance of a 9 batter scoring when he walks to lead off an inning. So it's 2-0 now to the 9 batter Higgs, and there's the strike. So it's 2-1 now to Jack Higgs. Jack is 0 for 1 on the day. He's popped to second base. Came in relief of Billy Egan, who started the game in right. And there's the ball up high, so it's 3-1.
He's a little wild, Steve. Again, he just came into the game. He's probably got to get into a rhythm.
Yeah. As he's pitching from the stretch with nobody on base, so he's probably – there's a ground ball back to the mound. One hopper, now he immediately throws it over to first. And just like that, he gets his first out of the game. So scored out 1-3. He's going to bring up the top of the order for Middletown.
Second baseman,
and Cal Pietruzzello has had himself a night so far where he scored 2 runs. He's 2 for 3, and he stole 2 bases. So as he steps into the batter's box, here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Of a 6-3 ball game. Dalton throws it up there for ball 1, just as high. What was the movie now? His name is Dalton, right? What is it? Roadhouse.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And there's 2-0 now.
I'll tell you, that looked like a strike, Steve. I think he got squeezed right there.
2 balls, no strikes now to leadoff hitter Pietruzzello. Yeah, especially when you have a doubleheader. He's like, all right, how about giving a little – there's a strike. So it's 2-1.
I thought the other pitch looked better, but –
we'll have to see if they'll end up playing that second game. They may not.
Yeah, Steve,
it's already 7:55.
Yeah, this game's going to end probably a little after 8. Then you got to warm up a little bit.
They'll play it? Yeah, they'll play it. Yeah. Way up and in. Yeah, okay. I know that Muzzy Field, they have a curfew, right? You can't start an inning, but Middletown, according to the public address announcer, Jim Bransfield, does not have a curfew. And there's a pop foul out of play towards Five Guys Burgers and Fries right behind us. I remember, Mike, we had to do a game in the Northeast Regional Tournament between Vermont and Bristol that started after 11 p.m.
Oh, wow.
And the game ended after 2 o'clock in the morning. Luckily, it was a 7-inning game. Swing and a miss. And there's a strikeout.
Very good pitch.
By Dalton.
Very good pitch by Dalton, He battled back. He was behind 3-1, and he came right back.
Yeah, only the second strikeout for East Haddam pitching. And that's going to bring up Luke Garofalo. He's had a pretty good game himself. He's 2 for 2, a home run inside the Parker in the first. Single, stole a base in the third, walked and scored a run in the 5th.
He's also played very well in the field as well tonight.
Yep, there's a strike. So it's 0-1 now to Garofalo. Well, there's the difference here. If you get ahead of a hitter, he doesn't necessarily can't sit on a certain pitch. Or there's a curve. That one's ripped into left center. That's going to be over the head of the left fielder. Out into the gap off the Liberty Bank sign. And rounding second, Garofalo, he's bowling for third. Here's the throw. And it's not going to be in time. The pitcher he backed up, and there's nobody covering home. Here comes the runner home, and he's safe. So that's going to be, I would say it's a triple. That's going to score it. The official score is a triple and an error on the shortstop, allowing Garofalo for the second time today to run around the bases.
Steve, coaches practice this a lot in practice. They go over running the bases, and you could see why they do it, because you could see how aggressive a kid like Garofalo is running the bases. So when people think that that's a waste of time in practice, they're not paying attention.
Yeah, because there it is. There's a line shot right out into center field and right center. Getting it on the runs is center fielder Billy Anderson. Nice play by Billy. So for Middletown, they get an insurance run. They come up with 1 run on 1 hit. There was an error, and they leave nobody on base. We're now going to the top of the 7th inning. East Haddam up down to their last 3 outs, unless they can tie this game. They trail 7-3. Find out if they do after this.
While I was overseas, the American Legion was behind me all the way, supporting me and my family back home when they needed help. Now I'm a proud member.
When I left the military, I wanted my fellow veterans to have the care and the benefits they deserve. That's why I belong to the American Legion.
I never thought the Legion would have anything for me, but they taught me about teamwork and sportsmanship, and they helped me get into college.
The American Legion. We're at work every day, serving America in so many ways. That's why I belong.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Well, back here at Palmer Stadium, John Linares will step in. He's the leadoff hitter for East Haddam. They need 4 runs to tie. And there's strike 1 from the relief pitcher, Connor Carty. Carty, from the windup, glove in front of him now, looks in for the sign, rocks back a little to his left, and deals. It's outside for a ball.
You know, Steve, I think what East Haddam has to do is just one at a time. Just get the first guy on base and then take it from there. You know, can't think about 4 runs right now. You got to think about getting guys on base.
Yeah, you can't hit a 4-run homer yet.
No.
Right? 2 balls, 1 strike now to John Linares, who's actually 0 for 3 on a day. He drives one up. It's caught by the pitcher. He takes a little crow hop and lobs it over to first, and that's an easy out for him. So Linares is retired rather easily. Scored that one 1-3, and now Middletown is 2 outs away from winning this game and increasing their record to 13-4. East Haddam will drop to 4-13 should they lose this game. Lefty Luke Johnson steps in. He is 0 for 3, but did score a run, 0 for 2, walked once. And there's a pitch up high for ball 1. And there's a ball up high. So the count is now 2-0 to the left-handed hitting Luke Johnson. Johnson scored one of those 3 runs in the first inning. There's a high fly into center field. Chasing it is the center fielder. Now he spins, turns his hips, and catches it. So there's 2 outs now. So East Haddam now down to their final out in the game. And up comes John Cully, who struck out his last time up, but got 2 RBI single, I believe, or double rather, back in the first inning.
You know, Steve, you can't say enough, though, about Middletown's pitching. Since the first inning, they've put up nothing but zeros.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. And there's the windup from Carty, and he deals. And there's a high fly. This should do it to the center fielder. He waves everybody else off. Stands under it and makes the catch. So 2 fly balls to center field in a row do it here for East Haddam in the top of the 7th inning. So the final score is Middletown 7, East Haddam 3. We'll wrap this one up quickly in about 30 seconds.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veterans service organization in the nation. We're committed to making sure all veterans receive the benefits they deserve for the sacrifices they've made in service to America. If you're a veteran in need of help or support, please contact us. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
And that's the final score here at Palmer Field. it was Middletown 7, East Haddam 3. The winning pitcher was Lenahan. The losing pitcher was D'Antoni. And, Steve, what could you say? I mean, the first inning, both teams put up 3 runs, and then after that, it was a great pitching duel between both teams.
Yeah, I thought there was a couple of critical spots. You're right that the first inning, both teams came out very, very aggressive. And to me, the critical spot was the strikeout of John Cully there in the 5th inning by Lenahan when there were 2 runners on. I think it was 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. He gets a strikeout, and then the fly out, and the East Haddam came up empty there in the 5th inning. That was one crucial point. The second crucial point, obviously, was the big double by Tim Dixon with 2 runners on after Cal pitcher Zella led it off in the 5th inning with a double. Then Garofalo walked, and then the big hit by Timmy Dixon. So the stars for Middletown today, Mike, I would say are probably Cal pitcher Zello and Lenahan, the winning pitcher, and then not to forget Mr. Dixon.
Right, and you also can't forget Garofalo. He was tremendous. He hit a inside the park home run, then he had a triple that resulted in the run. But again, I think the key really, Steve, was Petrozella, because he started that first inning off. He stole 2 bases right off the bat. That really set the tone for Middletown. And, to me, he set the tone in the 5th inning, and he got on base. And, again, that set up Dixon. So, to me, if I was given a player of the game, it would be Petrozella.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and then so that means that Middletown now moves on. Their record increases to 13-4. They remain only 2 games back of the league, their zone leader Cheshire at 14-2, and Meriden half game behind them, 13-2. So we know in American Legion play how quickly fortunes can take a turn. In Middletown here, Coach DeQuilla bringing in those pitchers, 3 pitchers tonight for Middletown. He wanted this game badly. He wasn't going to let this one slip away. And now they're going to be on to the second game. Well, this one, long rain delay. Both teams, great work out there by the grounds crew. So, it was I thought it was a pretty good game considering the fact that, both pitchers were just gutting it out. And then you got a couple of big hits here and here. And Middletown comes away with the W. So, as you said, Lenahan, the winning pitcher. D'Antonia gets the loss, and they move on to their second game, which we won't have here on Sporting News. Tomorrow night, we will be in Trumbull, Connecticut, with a game between Darien, New Canaan, and Trumbull down there. Game time, I believe, is 5:45, and it'll be right here on SportingNewsCT.com. Well, thank you to the public address announcer, Jim Bransfield, for doing a great game here tonight with this field. Is that we always have a pleasure being here in the Middletown press box. And Mike, great job tonight.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, and we'll be right back here tomorrow, as I said, at about the same time, same channel, as they say. Well, one more time here from Middletown's Palmer Field in Middletown, Connecticut. The final score is Middletown's Post beats East Haddam by the score of 7-3. I'm Steve Riley. Good night, everybody, and stay tuned for tomorrow night's game between Darien, New Canaan, and Trumbull.